It's a bad little camera. You can edit the hell out of all these later, right?
Yeah.
Just get some more heat in the oil real quick. Cooking with grease. Where's a good angle for you?
No, you're good. Just go for it. Screw up the gas. Did I just run out of gas? You're just making it more of a pinpoint flame now?
Yeah. You can heat it where the metal starts to change its structure.
Are you getting it to the point where it's almost malleable, but you're still keeping it?
What we're looking for here is non-magnetic. Not malleable would be for like forging. It'd be about another 500–600 degrees hotter than what we're going for here.
Okay.
So what we're trying to do is create a chemical structural change inside of the steel that occurs. This is 1095, and it occurs around 1500 degrees.
And you're dipping it in oil there?
Yeah, what I like to use is peanut oil.
Okay.
It's cheap, it smells good, makes a great quenchant.
And what temperature are you running that oil at?
I usually keep this about 125, 150, okay, somewhere in there. If you have your oils too cold, it'll create thermal shock.
Alright.
And we'll just create a nice black ugly blade, but that'll all sand right off, and we'll have a nice hardened edge that's going to be about a Rockwell 58, 59 when I get done tempering it.
Alright. What is this?
This is Alabama Damascus.
Okay. You're going to work with that for a little bit.
Great metal. Finishes up really nice. Really great patterns. A lot of fun to work with it. Hopefully in the not too distant future I start forging my own Damascus more. But all I have at the time is a charcoal forge, and to make big billets it takes way more heat than I can generate.
Okay. Where do you get your Damascus from?
This, like I said, is Alabama Damascus, which is actually the name of the company. They're up in Alabama. And they've got a huge forge, and that's all they do. It pretty much is forge some unique pattern Damascus. You know, 300, 400, 500 layer billets of folded metal. Several different alloys combinations. They 1095, 5160, 52100, 15N20, which is a high nickel content that gives you your contrast.
And you're only doing one side?
Yeah, what we're doing is we're localizing this. I can explain more about it later.
Okay.
But this gives you a nice hard edge and a soft spine at the same time.
Okay.
because we're just hardening our cutting edge, not the entire blade.
I think it's neat how when you heat it up like that, you can see a little bit of the design in the
the pattern starts to show through.
Coming through, yeah.
And what looks really good is after this, I got about an hour of grinding, maybe another hour of hand sanding, and then I use an acid quench, using it's an etchant you can buy from Radio Shack. I forget the acid name right now.
Okay.
But it brings out.
Turns
the carbon steel black, and the nickel steel stays shiny silver. And if you finish your blade well, that's where you get that nice black silver contrasting pattern. This one's I think they call it redneck skin. It's got a neat swirl line to it. I really like. Shows up really good on a hollow grind like this.
Yeah.
We're getting up close to temperature. You might not be able to see it. Sometimes there's like a ghost or a shadow that runs across the blade when it gets up around 1450. It's kind of a visual indicator if you know what to look for. Might not show up too good in the video out here in the dark doing it. This is a good backyard home shop heat treating process to get a nice hard edge, and we're getting it up close to where we want to be temperature wise there. And then we'll just dip it in the peanut oil, which is about 125, 150 degrees.
Okay.
And that'll turns it kind of black and nasty. You can see a little bit of the pattern of the Damascus starting to show up.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
After it's etched, it'll really be pronounced.
All right.
Makes a really pretty blade.
So what you're doing now is putting them into like conventional oven kind of deal?
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll put them in here and I'll draw them or temper them at about 400 degrees
for
about 2 hours. What it'll do is take the steel down to a usable hardness.
Okay.
So right now they're fully hardened steel along the edge. Really, really hard, but also very brittle. So what you do is you draw your metal back down and hardness just a little bit. You form the metal structure in it, and now you're kind of relaxing it so it stays strong, but it still has some flex and give to it, so you won't snap your knife off, gutting your trophy buck or something. So, there it goes, and we'll let that run for a couple hours. And it's a bad little camera.